So for the mango, we're not even going to draw it. It's kind of like a baseball shape, but it has a top. I should be using like a really the light yellow. The first layer is the yellow. It should have like a round kind of top. It'll have a top, a little bit fatter at the top, and then just a little bit of like a chin, for lack of a better word to call it, like a chin. So I'm just gonna put that in. I use the yellow as a base. I get it to the shape I like. Sometimes this is nice because then you don't have to draw. You don't have your pencil marks in there. You might like that without the pencil marks. Some artists don't have a problem with it. It's totally up to you. I want to make this a little more bulbous at the top. Mangoes, oh, they're so delicious. So delicious. We were talking a little bit about the skin on a mango. The skin on the mango is kind of a little bit rubbery. I will open up a picture and bring it in to show you. So this is how mangoes, it's gonna go big. So let me just make it go small again. Don't worry, bear with me. This is how mangoes grow on a tree. They usually grow in small clusters, and look how pretty these colors are. There's the green, that's not quite ripe. And you've got the reds and the yellows that we talked about a little bit already. We've written on our page. I just love how pretty this mango is. Let me get that out of the way. It's also very sweet and it tastes nice. So if you ever get a chance to try a mango, please do. Let's pull in another picture here. They're not in Michigan, so that's why I think it's kind of fun to try it. If you see one, go ahead and grab it and buy it and try to cut it up. Here's a nice big rich one that we're going to use to color with. This one, look how pretty the colors are. It's such a beautiful fruit. I have a third picture that the way it grows on the tree. And when my painting is drying, I'll pull that up. But for right now, we're going to use this as our model. It's, if you look closely, there's kind of some little, it's like a rubbery, in a way, rubbery type of skin on the mango. And you would, if you were to cut the mango, you would maybe slice it down this side and then slice it down this side. And then you peel that back. The person that taught me was Sita. And Sita, if you're here, hello, and thank you for teaching me how to cut a mango. They're not really popular here in Michigan. If you see them, you probably see them at Plum Market or something. So if you guys see one, grab one. They're kind of yummy. I would like this top to stick out a little bit more here. I'd like it to be a little bit bulbous there. I don't want to use too much water because when you use too much water, then it's hard to dry and it takes a while to dry. And for lack of, I'd like to make this a nice program for you guys to see it and paint along with me. There we go. See if that's a little closer. So I started with that yellow. I will then take the cadmium yellow. So it's a little warmer yellow. And I'm going to kind of rub it in here at the top, rub it here at the top, rub it down. And then go ahead and come all the way down here. I can brighten that yellow up at that bottom corner. I'm kind of looking at it as I hope you see it too. I'll take some of the brighter yellow and just pop it back in so it's nice and rich. A lot of artists will paint something on their canvas first, maybe a gray or a sepia, to block that white blank. So I don't know if you're new to art and you're new at painting, I love that you're here. Thank you for being here. That's fantastic. But if you're, you'll know what I'm talking about when we say the white canvas. You'll know that that's just a little bit intimidating, and a lot of people, that stops them from painting. And I'd like to make sure that you continue to paint. Don't let it stop you. The way we do it in watercolor is we put just a thin little layer down first. We put a nice little layer of whatever the undercover is, undercoating. I notice most of the ones that we're doing when we're doing a fruit, it's a nice thin undercoating of yellow. So I think you'll find that you'll like that. Okay, and then the next color we will take is, the next color, we're going to use that orange, but it looks kind of red compared to the yellow. When I say I think you'll like that, I think you won't be so afraid of the white. This is fun. I like doing these lives, but what is a little bit sad for me is I don't get to see you. And this particular live, I'm not even sure if it's going. So you'll have to let me know, give me a little thumbs up, because I can't really see the Facebook feed. But I am doing live on Mondays. If you send me your email, I'll send you the invite tomorrow, because I do want to see you and I want to see how you're doing. Some of you have been doing this with me now for 11 weeks, not 11 weeks, 11 sessions. And I'd love to see what you're doing, everybody. If you painting along with me, go ahead and paint and post it in Art Yourself Studio. Now I'm dipping in, I got out of the orange and I'm dipping into the red. And I really like that rich red, but we're not done. We're gonna let that dry. And if you notice, it doesn't go all the way down and it kind of feathers in. And I'm looking up at the picture and I'm looking at my picture. And to be honest, it's my mango and yours is your mango. You can do what you wish. Don't try to feel like, oh, it has to be exactly like that. It doesn't. These are just some suggestions. But I noticed in the picture, this side is a little more yellow than I have. I have a lot of red in there. So I'm gonna just wipe it up. And what will be really pretty is that I pick up some of this bright yellow and I add this yellow in. I'm gonna add that yellow right in there, and that's kind of neat. That'll just mix in there really nicely. It's best to let it dry some. In the picture, you see that green leaf. So I'm going to just take a nice light, it's a little bit of a, it's a yellow, it's a yellow green. It's not exactly a green. Here's the knob where it's into the fruit, and then it's attached by a little bit of a vine. And then the leaf is just a nice shape. I'm going to touch into that, but I'm just laying that ground color, the same thing that we did with the yellow. I'm just laying that base down so it's not so scary. Like there's my leaf. I know that it's going to be cut in half. I know it's going to be darker. This way, this leaf, it does have a little point down there. So this leaf will go, it will be dark under the leaf on the fruit. So I will add a little shadow here. And the shadow you do is you do the opposite. So red, the opposite would be on the color wheel would be a green. So I can add some green in here. And if I don't like that, I'm just going to drop it in because I want it to dry and I'll play with it a little bit. It's not going to stay like that. But I feel like, and I think the more you paint, the more you'll be able to say, oh yeah, I think it should be a little darker here. When I look at the picture, it's almost, it looks like it's black, but if we use black, it's really flat in watercolor. So it's better to go the opposite color. If this is too green, then I could take some, and you can too, just take a little drop of blue and add that blue in there, and that'll darken it up. We're gonna let that dry. This paper is really bumpy, and that's why it's not made for watercolor. It's a multi-purpose paper, so it will be a little bumpy. What I'd like you to do is get used to putting your, get the watercolor paper and tear it up in postcard size. And today we did Trillium in the Trillium class in my advanced watercolor. And we did it on this postcard. And then my session, the next session of watercolor class, she and I did, we painted Birds of Paradise, but she had a question about the donut. So instead of just doing the donut on a regular piece of paper, I went ahead and put it on watercolor paper on a postcard. And now I'm going to mail this out. So that will be kind of fun. Just to mail it to somebody, maybe they'd like seeing the donut, getting the donut in the mail. You never know. All right, this is now looking really green. So it's not quite, it's still pretty wet. If you want to doctor it up a little bit, you could tap it with your paper towel. Paper towel will leave a texture. That's okay. Paper towel it, just dab it a little just to let it dry a little faster. And then I can take some more color and put it on there. I think the leaf is good. the way you tell if it's dry is you feel underneath. And if it's cold, that means it's still wet. So this is a little bit cold. The leaf seems a little more dry. I'm going to go ahead and put my next color of green. There's all sorts of beautiful greens. I have a big watercolor palette, if you see it. These are the colors that I have. You can buy a simple tray of colors. If you go to Art Yourself Studio, under classes, I think, there are a material list. Here are some awesome colors I have. When you make colors, when you buy new colors, make a color chart so that you can keep track of the colors that you have. I just got a hunter green, and I'm noticing a lot of artists use a sap green. So either you learn how to make the color that you choose, or you can buy a tube of it, or you can buy a little mini set in class for beginners. Our first beginner set, we use this little, I got taped, it's used a lot. I use this beginner set. The thing I recommend is always making a color chart. You can see this is a lot of love. It's been used for a while now, and watercolors do last a long time. What you can do to keep using this tray is buy the tubes and then squeeze it in. Those are also on the website, but no matter what, always make a color chart. Then you'll know your colors, and you'll know what they look like on the paper. So I'm thinking that's dry. I'm going the next green. It's a little bit of a hunter green. I'm going to add some water to it to make it a little loose. But I'm going to push it on the hard, put the belly down of the brush, and I'm going to push it on the hard part of the, not the hard part, sorry, but the dark part. There's a dark part on the leaf. And then I'm going to come out here and just outline this a little bit. I'd like to leave some light. I don't know if you notice, I'm going to put my cursor there. I don't know if you can see, like right here on the side, it's a lighter green. And so the way to make that little ridge in there is you're going to put some paint on the other side of it and then kind of color it in, and there you go. You've got that like ridge. And it's building up of layers. We're going to build up the layers. We're going to do another layer on that. We'll let that dry. And we'll come down here, and I like this gold that I'm seeing right here with the cursor. I like this gold that I'm seeing right there. So I'm going to add some of that, this one, I don't know if you can see it, this one. Okay, so that is the yellow ochre. Add that in here just to make it a little warmer and rich. The way you get it to look round is it's darker on the edges a little bit. I'm going to pull that up too, because there's a little shine on the actual fruit in this picture. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to continue to build up our layers and brighten it up as we build. I went into the bright yellow and mixing that in now. I'm rubbing it between the two colors, putting it together. If it's too much of a hard contrast, then go ahead and grab some of your orange again. Go ahead and rub that in. If you ever studied art, you would know like to make things round and the value and where the sun hits the round. Let's say we did a round ball, you would leave that space open, but we're not doing that here. We're just playing. We want to have a good experience. We want it to look good when we're finished. I'm going to now make the colors richer, doing some layering called glazing, kind of glazing over the other color underneath. And I want that green to show, but I don't want to go red all the way down. And look, even now, every time I look up, I see something different. Look what I see this time. I see a little bit of green in here, just a little bit. Isn't that fun? This, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. And this, the stem, I'm going to dab in some dark brown in there. And then just along the side, draw it in, just along the side. Let it bleed in there. If it does, that's fine. That's nice. That's what's so fun about watercolor. I do like the way the picture, now I'm looking up at it. Every time you look at it, you see something different. I like how that stem is to the side over here, but it's too late for me to put that in on this one, and that's fine. This is the second time I painted it today. I'll probably paint it again. I do like to paint these again and do like a little series. I think I showed you the donuts last week or on Tuesday, but here are the donuts. So I like to do like a little series. I'm doing the sugar skulls right now. I haven't decorated them yet. The sweet peas, gonna fill that in. We did some sheep. I'm gonna do some sheep on Monday's classes. We'll do sheep. But I like doing these layers and doing like several on a page. I think that that's kind of fun. So I will practice. I will do more of this mango. I'll do a whole page of that. I'll show you next time. And I think the only other thing I really need is just to kind of, I'm not going to get rid of that light color in there. I really like that, but I'm going to just exaggerate a little bit the sides where that's going down in. Just a little bit. Like that Gordon Lightfoot song. I think it's his new album. There we go. And maybe, I kind of like that. That's carrying over the red over into the leaf. I will go a little bit darker on the side again, just to do a little wash on the side, because that leaf is pretty dark. But you can do whatever you want. You can make this fancy, you can flip it, you can do whatever you want with it. Make it your own. Put your name on it. I think that's it. I'm not going to do much more. It's still pretty wet. It's got to dry. I might do another glaze over the top of it after it's dry. I just like to get that showing a little bit of movement there. And down here, it's funny. I'm looking at it on my paper and my face is so close to it. It's interesting because when you look at it on the computer screen, you can really see like, oh, okay, that color goes there, that color goes there. So one thing I do recommend is walk away from your work. Just walk away, go get a drink, and then come back and look at it, and you'll see a whole different thing. A lot of times people put theirs away and then the next day they look at it and they think, oh wow, I can't believe I just made that. So I'm gonna leave this. There's our mango. This is the one I did earlier. Sorry if you guys missed that one or it was too painful because of the technology. I'm hoping this works. Let's see how it works. Maybe the issue is just going live at 3 o'clock. It's too much pressure. I hope you like this. Please write in the comments, let me know. That's really encouraging and it makes me feel like it's worth doing it and I'll keep doing it. So leave me a comment. If you're interested in going live with me on Monday, please send me your email and I will send you the invite tomorrow. Otherwise, every Tuesday and Thursday, you're here, Art Yourself Studio. Please post your pictures on the studio, Art Yourself Studio Facebook page, and I will get to see it. So I think we're done, and let me know. I hope this works out. Let me know.